top 5 midfielders in the Prem. So we've basically done both our top 5, ranked them. And we basically put it, because we'll do one at halfway through the season where we go off so far this season.
Yeah.
But for now, we're just going to say who we think, if you're looking at the Prem from the outside in, who are your most like...
Who the best 5 midfielders are. So we're not having wingers in there, just central midfielders.
Yeah, you can have your DMs or centre attacking mids. They're all just like the central.
Like, who are the best ones? It doesn't matter form at the moment. It doesn't matter.
You just go off ability and stuff like that.
Yeah, just like who is the standout best.
Do your top 5 from 5 to 1.
Do you want me to do
I'll do
list?
mine. Yeah. You just go through them.
I'm not going to go into massive detail as to why I've got them in there.
No.
But at number 5, I've got Martin Odegaard. Right. I think in terms of creative players, I only rank 2 players higher than him.
Okay.
Who will be in this list. So maybe 3. But in terms of an out-and-out creative player, he's right up there. I think he's been a huge part of why Arsenal improved so much over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I think him being the captain, he was still such a young player. He's technically brilliant. Can put it on a plate, he can score a goal.
Yeah.
And I think Arsenal don't have another player of that level that could play that position. I think he's just unbelievable. And he's shown that
See
over
it
the
when
last
he's
2
missing,
years.
can't you? Yeah.
In 4th, I've got Bruno Fernandes.
Okay.
I think on his day, that there's only one player in the league better than him, probably, in terms of what he offers to a team. I don't think anyone else in this list could do what he does for Manchester United.
Yeah.
I think they managed to function. The other electric players in that position in the league couldn't do that for Manchester United. I think Bruno's unselfish. I think he turns up against the face of adversity. I know people say that he moans, but this and that. He can handle the pressure of being a Manchester United player. And I think a lot of people wouldn't necessarily have him in the list because of how poor we're doing.
Did you see him like after the Copenhagen game? He's on some steps behind closed doors, absolutely fuming with his hands in his head, hands in his head,
his head in his hands,
head in his hands. Yeah,
but I think in terms of the passes he can pull off, he'll get you a goal. I think he's been a lot more unselfish over the last 2 seasons, where he
can give it away a lot, can't he? But
that's the risk you run with a player that's like that. Yeah. You are going to give the ball away because you're trying high risk, high reward.
Yeah.
And he only drops down to 4th on the basis that the players have got ahead of him here just have to be ahead of him for me.
Okay. Who are they?
In 3rd, and this was tough, 2nd and 3rd was tough for me. 3rd, I've got Bernardo Silva. I know that he does play a lot of games out wide, so to speak, in terms of his natural position, but this guy is a central midfielder. He's a silky footballer that will take on a man, play a beautiful ball through, and he might even be the best to watch in the league in terms of, for my personal preference.
Yeah.
In terms of his on-the-ball ability, how easy he makes it look. I think he just has absolutely everything. And the fact that City managed to keep hold of him when it looked like he wanted to leave for several seasons.
Yeah.
That's their signing of the season. Forget the fact that they brought Doku in, Gvardiol. Re-signing, getting a contract extension out of Bernardo Silva is the best signing they made in summer, because he's one of the best in that position in world football, not just Premier League, which is crazy that I've put him in 3rd, but the 2 that are above him...
I know you too. They're my 2 as well, I think.
So 2, I've got Rodri, the best in his position in world football.
I think so.
He can get you a goal as well. He's a leader. He's no nonsense.
I was actually really surprised at how good he is in front of goal.
Yeah, he's got an eye for goal. He's got the Champions League winning goal. He scored some important goals. He scored that goal a few years ago when all City fans were singing, "Did you cry when Rodri scored?" and all that. Like, he scored some iconic goals for that football club, and he'll go down, in my opinion, with a higher legacy than Fernandinho, because he's delivered.
Oh yeah,
the impact of the goals he scored, and I actually think his level's higher than Fernandinho. Fernandinho goes down. He was great.
Yeah.
But it's legacy as well. He was good for a long time.
He hit his prime like when he was like 30, didn't he?
Oh, it was really impressive. And I'm not downplaying his achievements, but in my personal opinion, Rodri will go down as more iconic and more important as a staple for Manchester City for that position. And then number one is unquestionable, and I know he's not been fit nearly all season. It's Kevin De Bruyne.
One of the best players the Premier League's ever seen, I think.
Yeah, 100%. He's in the question with your Scholes, your Gerrards.
Yeah.
Everybody that you rate highly, Lampard, everybody. And
because we have, obviously, most of the time it's like centre attacking mid, but as time's gone on, he's played games in the central midfield area. Even as a 2, I've seen games with him, and he still does really well.
I think everything that he does, if he's dictating the game, there's not many better. There's none better in the Premier League, but there's not many better in world football. Maybe there isn't. He could be the best in world football when he's fit. What I would say is I don't know if this is the end of Kevin De Bruyne. There's been...
Yeah, he's getting a lot of injuries now.
I would say I don't know enough about it. Maybe some City fans have a bit more intel, but I think it's probably recurring injuries as well, which is probably a concern.
I think he's on the verge of Saudi in the next 2 years.
It's a possibility. You know, you look at the fact City now get through so many games without him being available.
Yeah.
And obviously they'd love to have him available. Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Any Premier League club, any world club would take... He walks into every team in the world. But he's not available an awful lot due to injury. And these injuries keep coming back up, and you just have to say it's not looking the best for him in that regard. But it doesn't take anything away from the fact he's had an absolutely glistening career. He's won it all.
Yeah.
He's won countless Premier Leagues now. So he's number one, and it's not even a debate. I mean, if you're talking... I know he's not fit at the minute, so if you're making a list right now, he's not in the list. But
so I can tell you I've got the same players, but...
All 5?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
But I haven't got them in the same position.
Same order?
Same order, yeah. So, number 5, I've got Odegaard, so I'm pretty sure you did as well.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more to come from Odegaard. He's still a young player. But like say, I think I need to see more of him. But as a player, I like watching him
He's
play.
silky.
Yeah, silky. I just think he's lacking on the pace side.
Yeah. What I do like about him as well, I didn't mention it, he's just like, there's no moaning. He gets stuck in, like, he just gets on with it.
Yeah.
You know, like, he's very just...
Professional.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So then, in 4th, I've got Bernardo Silva. Then in 3rd, I've got Bruno Fernandes.
God, that is ludicrous. That is terrible.
Then in 2nd, I've got Rodri, and in 1st, I've got De Bruyne. So the reason why I've got Silva behind Fernandes, right?
It's because you're a United fan.
It's because I support United. No, it's because I really would like to see Silva without Pep.
No, I think this could be said for a lot of these players, though. All the City players.
I think Rodri would still be good without Pep.
I don't think he'd have hit the heights he has hit. And De Bruyne, I don't think of would have. That's controversial for how high
De Bruyne's been good for before Pep.
But not... You'd have never seen this level.
Yeah.
I say this now, this is controversial. You could put... Some people have him as the best Premier League midfielder of all time. Certainly in top 5, let's say. No debate, right? I don't think he'd have ever won a Champions League without the Manchester City move.
Rodri?
No, Kevin De Bruyne.
Oh, De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Do you not
I don't think he'd ever have the high praise of being like a World 11 player.
I think he could have got in Real Madrid's team.
I don't think nobody else was interested in him when he was coming from Wolfsburg.
Oh, no, not when he's coming from Wolfsburg. But I mean,
took a punt on him.
Yeah, but I mean, like 5-6 years ago, he could have probably gone to...
I don't think his career would have panned out that way. I really don't.
Could have gone to Bayern.
That's controversial, maybe, and it seems like a very bold thing to say based on how his career has gone. But I think that is the impact of Pep Guardiola. There was always the talent there. He could take most players and makes them a star.
But you say central midfielder for Silva, right? And that's why I've put him below Bruno. I just think Bruno we've seen a bit more with like numerous managers and that. Obviously, you can't say that all the time because Fergie was manager for United for all them years. That's why we had good players, all this stuff, and they played well. But the only thing is, you say Silva was central midfielder. I don't think he could play in a 2 for any other team. I don't.
It's an interesting point that you make, but I think the level's just that high. Realistically, any team he plays for would be a really good team. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Now it would be.
Yeah. But when he played for, I think it was Monaco, he came from, he was a right winger.
I think they play him in that position because what you'd have to say compared to anyone else in that list, he's better at beating a man than anyone else in both of our top fives.
Yeah.
Well, both our top fives are the same, but
Yeah.
he's better at beating a man than Bruno Fernandes, Kevin De Bruyne,
Yeah.
Rodri, even Ødegaard. He's better. And I think that's what sees him get played out wide as well, because he can complete a take on. Whereas you're looking at Bruno, Ødegaard, De Bruyne as playmakers, really, aren't you? Like, their passing range is what makes them so brilliant.
But when you watch Portugal, Silva's not the standout. Bruno is. I don't know. It's a bit...
No,
I think it's a tough.
I don't hate it
throw,
as a shout. I know where you're coming from, but
After
based
you
on
saying it's ludicrous, but
based on the career and the trajectory, it's all good and well as saying if buts and maybes. But the reality is, he has been a lot more successful.
I say that. I think City fans will probably hate me saying that because we had Fergie for them years. Is that why Rooney was so good? Do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I get what you're saying, but I also stand by the point where I would like to see Silva without Pep.
Well, we'll see if he does get his move. But you look, City are the best team in the world, and you look at someone like Gundogan who's just moved to Barcelona. I think he's realised that, honestly, he's taken a step down.
Oh, yeah.
Barcelona are a much bigger club, greater heritage, everything. But they'd lost the Clásico. I saw a post-match interview that he did, and he threw his teammates under the bus.
Did he?
Yeah, he's like, the reaction in the dressing room is not good enough. He said there's not enough frustration.
Well,
on
that's
the
the
pitch
problem.
they didn't show enough, and he's just come from a team where that was the case.
Yeah, that's like everything at City right now, because Pep would have implemented this, would be top notch of everything. So mentality would be top.
Everything.
And he's going to another team. It's like when Ronaldo came to us, started slating all the stuff that's wrong with United because he's so used to it being top notch. And when you go to a club that isn't, it's going to...
I know that's only one example, but it's crazy to me that we're living in a world where there's a player coming out and saying basically...
It's not professional enough.
Manchester City is a more professional environment than Barcelona Football Club.
Yeah, mad, innit?